I call the honourable member Jonathan Young.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I am pleased to stand and speak here on the Parental Leave and Employment Protection 6 months paid leave amendment bill. I want to just say Mike Sabin's comments that I endorse, and I'm sure many members of this House also endorse, regarding the responsibility of parenthood. And while one member across the other side talks about the responsibility of government, government cannot be the parent of every child. Every child comes into this earth because of a parent, two parents. And, sir, what we need to do is continue to encourage this country and adults in this country and teenagers in this country who end up being parents to take on the responsibility of that parenthood with great seriousness. And while the government might be there to assist and prop up, sometimes we go too far. And when we go too far, we dilute the responsibility that people need to take for their individual lives and for their children. And it does not mean that this government doesn't care. It does not mean, sir...
Order. Just two things. First of all, I'd like to advise members that barracking is not acceptable in the People's House. This is a place for debate, and members will conduct themselves with the respect to the traditions of the House as enshrined in the standing orders. That's the first thing I want to say. Second thing I want to say is that this is a debate on Clause 2. We are not on Clause 3. I call the honourable member Jonathan Young.
Sir, the commencement. Well, sir, I believe that this bill should not commence because it goes too far. We believe, sir, that there needs to be some support for parents. And we do that. We do believe that, sir. But we need to have support for parents that goes far enough but not too far. That dilutes the responsibility that parents have. I don't know about you, but I was raised in this... I don't know about that member across there, sir, but I was raised in South Taranaki, one child out of 7 from farming parents who worked incredibly hard and managed. And I believe, sir, that when people are faced with those challenges of how to manage, yes, with appropriate support, but not so much support that they abdicate their responsibility, then they develop resources, they develop strength of character, they develop ways in which they can care, not just for their own family, but for their community as well. So many of the families in our community when I was a young boy helped each other. And, sir, I think it's a sad day when that stops and all the help comes from the government. That faceless group of people in Wellington who have this incredible sense of obligation placed upon them by people who think that they don't have the resources. I think it's important, sir, to find those resources amongst families, extended family, amongst community, amongst grandparents, so that, how many grandparents actually fulfil a great role of assisting their families and their grandchildren? Many. And I think, sir, that that's a great thing. It brings great sense of connection and purpose and a great sense of fulfilment that they all have. So we believe that supporting parents is a very important thing. Supporting children is a very important thing. Vulnerable Children's Bill is one of the most significant pieces of legislation to go through this Parliament, and that is all about supporting children. Sir, the Government Administration Committee that reported on Sir Moroney's Parental Leave and Employment Protection 6 months paid leave amendment bill could not come to agreement. And that is because there are differences of opinion. And this is what... No, there are differences of opinion, Mr. Dern. There are differences of opinion. And that's what this place is all about. It's about differences of opinion, so we can come into this debating chamber and we can debate our viewpoints. And I think that's what New Zealand likes to see. There will be myriads of people out there who will support Sir Moroni and myriads who won't. And so we are the representatives of viewpoints, not only our own, but the viewpoints of others in our communities. And I know, sir, that yes, there are people who are very concerned when they see deprivation, when they see hardship. But, sir, the solutions to that are not always the same. And so that's why sometimes we come to this place and we find there are differences of opinion. And, sir,
I call the honourable member Tracy Martin.
Kia ora, Mr Chair. I would like to speak about the commencement date.